everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Polywine, where we'd like to take a deep dive into stories pulled from the media and have a fun time while breaking it down. I'm Jillian, and let's get into it. So, right before we were going to come on the air today, news broke that former President Jimmy Carter had passed at 100 years old. And just what a sad story. We all knew that it was coming. The gentleman has been in hospice care for 2 years, maybe a little bit more. Which is just unheard of. And what an absolute fighter till the end. It was just so sad. Really think that he was just a man before his time. I adore Jimmy Carter, and if history really determines the legacy and the effectiveness of a presidency, I think it has done so for Jimmy Carter. If you look through history and look at today, I think it's really interesting, the parallels of then and now, the time frame of when Carter was president, and what's happening now as we're getting ready to exchange in new administration. I find the relatable and just very reminiscent of just kind of how unsettling politics is right now. I guess saying we're going to go into a new administration. There's already a lot of fighting and turmoil within the same party. So, it is very reminiscent of what Carter, his administration had faced then. I think in 4 years, I think he actually had quite a remarkable presidency. And again, history will prove that, but not a shot fired. A man tried to broker a lot of peace. I remember the speech that he gave, God, I think it was in the early 80s, where he was addressing the American people, saying that we are living in excess and we need to reel it in, that we don't need to live on wants, we need to live on needs, and how we really need to scale it back, and how we need to consolidate our life a little bit more and get down to the core things that are the most important, which is just necessity and our loved ones and just things like that. And I thought that was such a pivotal and moving speech then. I think it still holds strong now. So just truly what a loss. I hope now that he can be at least reunited with his longtime love, Rosalind. They were together for a very long time, and the only time that he came out at all while he's been in hospice was to attend her funeral a year ago. So Jimmy Carter, God, a formal salute to you. I think you were just a great man, a humble man. The man was still out hammering away, volunteering his time with Habitat for Humanity at 95 years old. So Jesus, what just an incredible man, an incredible life, an incredible legacy. And I hope history, especially now in his passing, it'll just bring more attention to a very short-term presidency, but a lot achieved, in my opinion, in a very short period of time. So good on to you. I hope it kind of excites a younger generation learning politics. And again, I see a lot of parallels from then and now. And it's interesting, Jimmy Carter, so close to making it another year, but maybe he thought, I'm going to go out while the Democrats are still in office. So Jimmy, this one goes to you, and thank you for your lifetime of service, just a lifetime of service. I just think he was extraordinary. If I had a wish list roundtable, I would definitely have one of like fun and comedy. But if I had like a serious political hot topic roundtable, Jimmy Carter would have always had a seat at that table. I just found him so fascinating, so humble, and just, like I said, I think he was a man beyond his time that served. I think he was ahead of his time. And Jimmy Carter, I just loved you, and thank you for everything. Just such a sweet, sweet Southern man. I was getting everything ready to come on today, and I always have a variety of news services on. And boom, Wolf Blitzer comes back on. Wolf Blitzer do you get a day off? This man needs a day off. He's in the newsroom every single day. Is there a day that Wolf Blitzer isn't on? And if there is a day that Wolf Blitzer is off, do you think all the other newscasters come in and like take a knee like they do on a football field when there's an injured player? Like, this must be serious. Like, Wolf is out. Like, he's out of the office today. Like, something serious. Like, that man has been ticking away at the news table forever. And I swear there is not a day that I don't see like Wolf Blitzer on. He's going to be like the Larry King of his time. He's going to be there forever. giving it to us because it's what he loves, it's what he does. I mean, like, I was watching a movie the other day that it was probably like a 20, 25-year-old movie. And then the news was on in the background in the movie. Wolf Blitzer looks the same, hasn't aged. The man is like a time capsule. He doesn't age. It's remarkable. So Wolf Blitzer doesn't miss a beat. But what a sad story. Jimmy Carter, again, God, what a sad, sad story. But what a great life lived. And he gave us so much. And so speaking of, some other big news, let's go back. I hope everybody had a lovely, lovely holiday, had a safe, you're traveling home. It's safe and smooth. I hope everybody had an opportunity to go to Netflix and watch the football game. And Netflix, great job. Great turnout, huge numbers. We were waiting for the numbers to come out, and they have, according to the Nielsen box. And I don't really know if all the numbers are in yet. Some numbers are in. From what I have been reading on a lot of sources, the numbers range from like 24 to 29 million. I saw the Nielsen numbers were about 24 million viewers domestically here in the US. I was reading by around the first game between the Steelers, it was about, I think they said about 200 countries had already logged on. That's what I was reading. I don't know if that's 100%. But again, according to the Nielsen numbers, about 24 million for the first game. And during the second game with the Ravens and Beyonce, about another 3 more million tuned in for that show. Overall, 65 million viewers tuned in. Those are the numbers that I have seen to date. I don't know if that's going to change, and I don't know what the numbers might be following, because I would think that people would log on afterwards just to see Beyonce again and Mariah Carey. Okay, you cannot have Christmas if it's not with Mariah Carey. So Mariah Carey did a pre-recorded Wallow for Christmas performance to kick off the show, and you've got to have that. And Beyonce, in her hometown of Houston, killed it, nailed it. She did have, I don't understand, there were some mixed reviews online and in social media. I don't see how you could. I thought from start to finish, a flawless show. At first, when she came out on the horses, I'm like, are those horses real? Are they AI? They just looked too perfect. Just stunning horses. Just, God, majestic, hair done, beautiful. And Beyonce, you look great. Oh my God, fantastic. I loved the costumes, the show, Americana, Houston. I loved that whole feel. It was incredible. I thought it was incredible. She gave classic halftime show. I love the marching band they were on. I love the patterns and the designs. I wish I had a little bit more of aerial footage so we could have actually seen the patterns and the designs that the marching bands were putting out there, because I didn't get to see that too much, but they looked like they were just awesome. The band was great. I love that whole marching band feel. It was just fire, high intensity. The dancers, incredible. There were 2 men. I think there were 4 men, male dancers that were around Beyonce through most of the performances. There were 2 that I recognized that were by her side most of the time. You men, I could have watched all night long. I know why you were beside Beyonce. You were amazing. They were great. They were so good. I could have watched all the dancers. I love the costumes. I love the bedazzled cowboy hats. Blue Ivy, you look great too out there dancing. The performance, you had Post Malone. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the one rapper that was out there. He was just so great. Everybody looked great. I thought it was a great show. I don't know what anybody was talking out. I know that Beyonce's mom came out and defended Beyonce's show on social media because there were mixed reviews. I don't know what you saw that I didn't see. I thought she killed it. Amazing. I can understand why you got an extra 3 million viewers during that performance. Phenomenal. I was cheering on the Ravens. The Ravens won. Fantastic. And Netflix, great show. Good performance, no hiccups. There was some lag. We've discussed about some of the issues they've had with some of their other live performances. Flawless showing. So well done. I thought the announcers did a great job. Robert Griffin III, I loved you. I thought you did an amazing job. First of all, wow, you showed up in an outfit spot on. You were glitzed and glammed. There was a little bit of glitter and sequencing on your jacket. I was mesmerized by that pinky ring that you had. I don't know what that was. It looked like a giant glitzed like Fabergé egg on his like pinky finger. It was huge. It was a mound, and I was just like following around like a cat on a laser toy. Like, it was awesome. You look great. You had the shoes, you had the socks that had photos on it. You showed up. Just well done. Everybody did a great job. No hiccups. Well done, Netflix. You turned up, you turned out, and you performed. And according to the numbers, the best turnout and viewership for a Christmas Day football game since 2011. So well done, Netflix. And here we go. Live events is going to the streaming services. I don't know what that is to be said for traditional cable, because, at least they knew there were guaranteed numbers in live sporting events, but they're going to streaming services. So let's see where it goes. Going into the new year, Netflix is picking up WWE. I don't know what else they're going to do. I've heard that there's been discussion of another fight. We had Jake Paul and Tyson last time. Still best viewers yet. That was 108 million viewers. So think about that compared to the football game. But it was traveling, during the Christmas. So I can see how those numbers. And it was a later too, but 108 in the Paul fight. But going back, so there's been new talk about maybe Logan Paul fighting. We shall see. But live events, streaming services. I mean, you got Peacock, you've got Prime, you have Paramount, Netflix. They're good, and they've got the money to spend. These streaming services, they have the money to spend. And let me say this. This is huge. And I understand, like, look, I pay for the premium on all the streaming services because I cannot stand commercials. I don't want to waste my time for commercials. I love commercial free. I understand in live events like that. And Netflix, they footed a big foot bill, to put this show on. So I think it was like 155 million. I think I was reported a week or so ago. It's like 155 million that they footed the bill for this football game. I'm sure they made their money in it. I hate commercials, but I understand that you have to spend a little bit of money in advertisement. It brings in the money. You have to do it. So even though you pay for the commercial free, you're still gonna have to get a little bit of ads in these live events. I get it. But what they have done well and very smart is traditional commercials like on cable, they can go 3.5, 4 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. I've seen like 5-minute commercial breaks. That is too long. Nobody wants to wait that long. So what they did well, Netflix, is that I think that the longest one, that commercial break that I counted, was like 1.5 minutes, like 90 seconds. I can handle that. That's quick. You get up, you do something, it's back. Very smart. I don't know if they made new commercials for this live event, but the commercials were good. So smart. Done very well. Very well. Netflix, well done. Now, there was, moving on to some other stuff on Netflix, they had a new movie that came out with Jason Bateman called Carry On. It's kind of like another kind of Christmassy kind of movie. I was telling somebody, kind of reminded me like a newer version of like Die Hard movies at Christmas, because it's kind of an intense suspense drama movie, but it happens on Christmas Day. Not a kind of feel-good Christmas movie, not like that, but an action movie where it's actually happening on Christmas. Like, don't really, I used to, when I was younger, never really thought of Die Hard as a Christmas movie, but it has definitely come like a Christmas classic movie. So if you don't want that feel-good family kind of Christmas movie, you want a little bit of an action, you've got Die Hard. And I think this kind of movie, Carry On, might kind of be a newer take on a Christmas action movie. So I thought it was decent. If you have a chance to watch it, go over and watch that. Carry On, Netflix. That was good. And then there is another, kind of closing in out of the new year, there was another special on Netflix called Torching 2020. all the people that do all the roasts and the head roast man. But, you know, they did a roast and a lot of it's kind of come up in the news because Hannah from Summer House, she is now a comedian and she's doing a lot of stand up, and she did a segment on it and she brought up the whole Blake Lively scandal. And again, this was filmed like 2 months ago, so it was current when this was filmed. So give her a break. And it's comedy. Who cares? There was some it's a quick little rundown and jokes of some of the stuff that happened in 2024. It was a quick fun. It's funny. It's, tongue in cheek, let it have fun and just enjoy. Some of it still plays, some of it doesn't, but just enjoy. It was fun. And there'll be a lot of other, you know, end of the 2024 celebration shows. Like I know that there's one on Peacock that Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson does every year. Always funny. They have one. I know Robin Roberts does one on Hulu and ABC. So there's going to be tons of, a year in remembering for 2024. So we'll see a couple of those in the next leading days leading up to New Year's. And God, I can't believe that it's going to be 2025 soon. It's just happened so fast. It really did. So, and a couple of other things. The holidays been happening. We've had some downtime. We've all been traveling, doing things. But it's nice to have a little bit of time to watch, to catch up on some of our shows and some documentaries and just good old guilty pleasures on TV. Now, I have heard so much about this show on Showtime, Paramount Plus, called Lioness. Nicole Kidman, Zoe Saldana, Jill Wagner. I mean, there's Morgan Freeman. There are so many people in this show. I haven't watched it. A new season 2 came out just recently, and people are reaching out to me. So you have to watch it. You got to talk about it. It's a great show. It's kind of a badass show. You need to watch it. I think you'll like it. Well, I finally had the opportunity to watch it. And yes, everyone, you are correct. It is an awesome show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have to confess, I went full down that hole and binge watched both seasons like that. It was, of course, it's a holiday. Somebody's got to be sick in the family. I had a sick little one. And so it was a long night one night, and I watched that in the middle of the night and loved every second of it. With no commercials, 35, 40 minutes, boom, boom, boom. You can snap through it quite quickly. I loved it. I mean, from the get-go of episode 1, season 1, boom, right into the action. And I have talked about The Jackal, recently, and you have this, and then you also have the Paramount Plus. Showtime also has a new show that just came out, The Agency. These kind of like spy, CIA, MI6 dramas, action. I really like it. I really like it. I like that high intensity show. So good. And plus you have the government, the politics, all the under channels. You see all the underbelly of the beast in government, if you will. I thoroughly enjoy it. Like I said, episode 1, boom, right into it. It's just great. Zoe Saldana, she's probably 90 pounds wet. She is bad. Nicole Kidman, so stoic, so professional, hard ass, awesome. Jill Wagner, awesome. The girl who is the Lioness season 1 and season 2, their names, one was a Rodrigo, Olivia something. Awesome. The girl in season 2, amazing. Morgan Freeman, you were really good too. You were in and out, great. I mean, the cast, fantastic. But what an incredible display of badass women. Really hardcore badass women. Just, you don't want to mess with them. I not all women are, they don't take any shit. They're badass. They show up. They do their job. They make tough decisions, hard life choices, in the moment choices, just like a lot of people in high level, government and political positions do. Badass. I loved it. And I mean, the whole cast is great. They work so well off each other. The Delta crew, I think it's a Delta crew, to say it, that works with the lioness who save her. They are incredible. I love all of them. That scene where the lioness in season 1 beats the shit out of her boyfriend who, I mean, just sucker punched her right in the face. And when she goes after him and hits him across the face with a frying pan and then runs for her life and ends up running inside the Marine recruitment office. And that Marine came out and he was like, you got to fight with me. You no longer have a fight with her. It's with the U.S. Marines. And then when he turned to her, he's like, did you do that to his face? And you could just see, like, we want you. You could be the few. You could be the proud. You could be a badass Marine. And she was. I mean, she was awesome. And so was the woman in season 2. 2 different stories. I love how they brought the lioness back from season 1 to season 2. Awesome. And the Silver Fox Doctor, which is Zoe Saldana's husband. I don't know who you are, but I do now. Wow, I liked you a lot. And by the way, I know Children's National Hospital inside and out. I could do a tour of that place blindfolded. And I can tell you, I didn't see any scenes inside Children's Hospital. Nice try, similar. Did not look anything like Children's Hospital. And I know that surgical operating room very well. I know the surgical waiting room. That is not it. You were not in there, sir. But again, I did like the fact that he was a surgeon at Children's National. I love that. Love that. But what a great show. Full great cast. So if you are still traveling, have a few extra days in the holiday before things kind of get back to normal with school or work, enjoy. It's a great show. 2 seasons, like I said, if you can do it on Paramount Plus, Showtime, wherever you can watch it. Highly recommend it. Now, also, Paramount Plus Showtime just released another show. Great cast as well. It is called The Agency. This is a CIA thriller and kind of based out in London. You have Michael Fassbender, who is, freaking Magneto. He was Magneto in X-Men Origins. He was a young Magneto. Badass. Plus, he's just great. And he gives good creepy. Serious, intense, and good creepy. Like, when he gives a creepy look, like that guy can give a creepy look. I like it. I like it a lot. I really like him. There's so many people in that show. Fantastic cast. So many A-list celebrities, actors, actresses are going to these streaming service series. And wise move, especially Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman is just pumping out series after series, movies too, but good on you, girl. What amazing, because in Hollywood, a lot of female actresses, once you reach a certain age, you've been capped out. There are not many jobs for you. You are capped out. And I love the fact that she is just cranking them out left and right. She's just awesome. She can do anything. Nicole Kidman, I love it. I love it. Just saw pictures of her on the beach in Sydney with her family in the holidays. I was looking so tabloids, doing some, holiday stuff. And she looks great. Looks great. I still say a little bit too many fillers in the face. Nicole Kidman, I love you. I think you're awesome. I think you're so naturally beautiful. Personal opinion there. I think you're gorgeous, but awesome. Keep cranking them out, Nicole Kidman, because I don't know what you can't play, what you can't do. You are just such a very talented, wide spectrum talented actress. So bring it. So Agency, going back to The Agency, Michael Fassbender, awesome, great cast. He's everywhere. There's only been several episodes. Like I said, I think there's been 5 episodes that have been dropped. Intense, good, very cerebral scenes. I love it. Very good. It definitely keeps you on the hook. You want to know what's the next, and you don't know who's bad, who's undercover. That's why I say it's cerebral, because it really makes you have to watch every scene, because there's a lot happening. You don't know who's an agent, who's a double agent, who's undercover, who's not, and they always keep you guessing. So I like that. I like that. Very good. Agency, Paramount Plus, Showtime. Get to it. Now, as we're moving into the holidays, we have, hopefully our shows are going to be coming back soon. We've had that giant holiday break where we just had nothing but Christmas movies and reruns. So I'm glad these series and Netflix kind of gave us a little something to talk about. Going back to some of the shows that we love, I'm hoping that in 2025, the US, we will finally get the new season of Married at First Sight. Australia, I did watch a few episodes of the most recent season here in the US. What's happening? I don't know. You lost me. I'm not into these couples. Again, Married at First Sight, Australia. I don't know how you can top last season with Harrison. Don't know how you can. Maybe that's why that's why the US, we haven't received the new season yet, because you're like, I don't know how you can go past that last season with Harrison. It was so freaking good. But please bring it to me. I'm waiting for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to return. Where's that going to go? We last left, we were in Mexico on the girls' trip. Bronwyn finally admitted that there was some infidelity in her, in her marriage when they were on the girls' trip. I loved, again, I said this the last episode on the podcast, that I love the fact that Heather kind of gave her a pep talk immediately. Like, look, you guys have been together for a while. And when you marry when you're younger, you're going to change, you grow, you evolve. And if you want something different now than what you wanted a decade ago, that's okay. And if he's not able to give that to you, that's okay for you to look at it and reflect at your relationship and say, I want something different now. That's okay. We all get to that point as we get older and grow in a relationship. And maybe that's where Todd is. And there has been some backlash from in the internet and social media from what Meredith had said in that conversation. Also what Lisa had said. Because some people say that when they were trying to come to Bronwyn's aid inside in that moment, they felt that what they had to say maybe sided a little bit more with Todd. Maybe I can see where that may have come off in that way. I think that they were trying to be a buffer zone, because I can see how, if Bronwyn, I think that could be some murky water for you. Like, if that wasn't, like, if you just wanted to, if that was just, ad lib, kind of off the cuff, and you brought that up to bond with the women, I can understand that. Women, sometimes when we have those deep conversations, they share that, especially in their difficult place, and you see that other women have gone through what you are going through. Some have come out on the other side, some have taken a different path and gone another way, but they've been there and they understand all the degree of emotions and complexities of those challenges in a relationship. So I'm glad that they all kind of gave different perspectives. And I can understand when they're like, look, if you didn't kind of discuss this with your spouse and this gets out there in a very public way, it may not be well received. We don't want you to get in trouble for not discussing it, him getting upset at you. It could really have quite the reverse reaction than you were hoping for. So I think they were coming to your aid saying, look, I understand where you were, what you're going through. My point of reference and my relationship, kind of like where Meredith was saying, and even Angie, like, I understand what you're going through on some level, even though what we have gone through is a little bit different. You guys really have to kind of come together and reevaluate where you are in the relationship, because you're having challenges. And if you don't, you may not make it. And if you don't, it's not. And if you choose to stay, and that's what Bronwyn says, every morning when I get up, I make the choice to stay with Todd. And she does. But, you make that choice, but if what you are releasing in the public realm is not received well by him, that could really have a bad backlash on your marriage. It can really affect it in a very negative way. And I think that they were trying to soften the blow a little bit, if you will. And I even agree with Lisa when Lisa's like, when they got off the boat and Lisa's like, how do you feel about that? And I think it was Angie. She was like, I feel really bad. Maybe it was Brittany. I feel really bad for her. And she's like, Todd's going to freak out. And I understood that. And maybe not like freak out, like get pissed and have an argument and it causes strain in a relationship, but like kind of be a little blindsided if that wasn't discussed going on the trip, that hey, I'm going to talk pretty deep and personal about our personal relationship. How do you feel about that? If that kind of wasn't disclosed, I could see like he would a little blindsided and be upset. He's professional businessman. His image is very important in his professional world. So I can understand that being a little iffy. So I'm interested there. When we left off in the last episode, and I really hope this week that we get Beverly Hills back and Salt Lake City, because we need it. We really, really, really need it, because again, we've already had a week of Christmas music and Christmas movies. I am over it. I'm over it. I'm so over it. So I want my non-thought-provoking shows back. I want my dead brain cell shows back. I want my reality TV. I want it. I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything. I just want to watch and let it all happen in front of me. Right? So bring back my Bravo. Bring back my Married at First Sight Australia. I want Traitors, and it's going to be coming back soon. It's coming back. Let's bring all the good ones back. Any other good shows? If you know of something that's really good, you're like, Jill, you've got to watch that. Please let me know. I will. I absolutely will. I want to know what else is out there. So that's where we left off. And so is Lisa. I felt so bad for Lisa. Everybody gives Lisa shit on that cast. I like Lisa. I do like Lisa. I think they're unnecessarily coming for her this year, but I felt really bad for her because at the end of it, she was at the dinner, she was being attacked, and she got up and was like, I'm freaking leaving. Like, this is BS. I've really worked hard to plan this really nice trip, and it has been nonstop bitching, and I'm over it. And I get it. I get it. Bronwyn, I think you have been a bit ungrateful and very high maintenance this trip. I understand you were just mauled by a dog and you're probably on some pain medication. Probably, I do not know. And probably uncomfortable, a little emotional, just feeling terrible, I would think. But pump the brakes. It's been a bit much. I'm finding Whitney very entertaining this trip. I do. I love Angie K. Mary, I'm so happy you're here. That scene with you getting your son ready to leave to go into treatment. Very touching. Mary, the shining star of the season. Just emotional, raw, giving us what we love of Mary, still giving us the attitude film Mary. When she walked in and saw the crew, because she showed up a day late with the other cast in Mexico, and everyone's like, Mary, why didn't you show up yesterday? And she's like, I had a thing. And everybody was like, okay. Because it's such a very Mary response. I thought that was amazing. Like, can I do that? Can I just give, maybe like a 1-2 response? Because that's it. No explanation. Don't need to draw it out. I want to be able to do that. Give me a little Mary. I need that. But I am loving Mary. I bet you, is this going to happen on this trip? But I bet when Mary finally breaks and tells the group what has been going on with her and her son, I bet you that is going to be a really emotional scene. They're all parents. They all have younger kids. Well, I mean, younger adults is what I mean. So at that age where just anything can happen, and, and they're starting their life and they're just exposed to so many things in this new world as young adults, and it can go in any direction. So I really hope that they rally around her. I know that it has come out that, and I don't know if Meredith is going to talk about this or discuss it, that it has come out that Brooks has had some troubles. And I don't know if that's true or not. These are allegations, unless Meredith truly comes out and says, yes, indeed, I don't know. But if so, I hope that she really opens up her arms and extends just the kindness and compassion that she really needs to deal with it, because this is just the start of a very, very long journey for Mary and her son, her family. We are not seeing Robert Sr. this year. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he just thought it was best. I don't know, but your family is in crisis and I haven't seen you. And that's unfortunate, disappointing. Maybe that's by plan. Maybe it's easiest if he's not around. I do not know. That is the relationship between Mary and her husband is none of my business. I do not know the dynamics of that relationship. It seemed like a strained relationship from what you have seen of that in the past. I don't know, but it's just unfortunate that maybe he's there. I don't know. It's just unfortunate you don't really see him there when your family needs you the most. And it just, that's why I don't see him. So I think that's why I'm so thankful that she has Angie, and just that scene where Meredith walks in, she's like, I'm just so glad to have Angie here in this moment. We don't need to discuss it. We don't need to, there's no words need to be exchanged. We know it's there. And right now we're just hugging and we're just here for each other. And that's all I need. And that is what you need. I think that's why I find this moment between those two in such a really, really difficult, heart-wrenching time for a parent. Is that when you are in a crisis, you just don't want anyone talking. You don't want their outside opinions, thoughts, and judgments. You need to just, like, it's tunnel vision. You need just to focus in on the task and challenge at hand. And a parent will do it their way, however they see to do it best. Okay. And you don't need the outside voices and opinions and judgment and just noise. You just need a hug. And I'm loving that. I hope it really stays this way. And at some point, I hope somebody can give poor Lisa a hug, because it sounds like Lisa's really going through it as well. She's going through the separation. Jack is in Colombia on his mission, so she's going through that empty nest, and plus she's going through some medical stuff. They're saying that it's the year of Henry, which I think is awesome. But she said that there was a lot of challenges going into this part of Henry's life. His brother's gone. He's going into middle school. That whole party situation just was so heartbreaking to me. So I get that. So she's kind of gone through some stuff as well. So give her some grace too. And something's going on with Meredith. And it sounds like it's not being discussed, but in my opinion, and you hear the last episode, Brittany's like, I heard you crying in your room. I think there's more to be said about the whole Seth thing. It was weird. I thought it was very telling during the episode when they were in Palm Spring that he's like, I got to leave and I'm going to be on a flight tomorrow. That I thought was a little ding, 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 red lights. There's been a lot of red lights, but that one was like a siren. I thought that was a little suspicious just to get up and leave like that. That happens too often. I understand he's a businessman. A lot of times you have a lot of business emergencies and you got to fly out before. But I don't know. So I think there's some marital woes there. That is just a personal opinion. I do not know. That is only opinion. But I think it's her crying at night and not feeling great. I think there's some emotional baggage there that she's carrying on and just really not discussing. And when is that going to break? I'm loving Salt Lake City. There's a lot of mixed reviews, but I'm enjoying it. I hope we get a little Potomac. I want to see what's going on. I want to see how the season's going to end, because how much is Karen going to, about this court case, what are we going to hear? Because we just found out she was found guilty on almost, not all, but almost all the charges. She will be charged in January. So, she could be doing time. So let's see what her story is going to be throughout the season. Mia is bringing mess. I am really enjoying, I've talked about this now, I'm enjoying Giselle and Ashley dating. I'm really enjoying that. So let's come on, Potomac. We're having fun. Let me just say, on the last episode during the Love Lagoon party, Ray, Ray, Ray never looked so happy. Like him just working, escorting Jacqueline out, talking to the mermaids in the pool with his shades on. Did anybody see Ray and how happy he was? That man had ear to ear smile. Because everybody was just giving Ray such, just loving Ray. The men were like, Ray is great. That guy's a legend. Like he was all smile. He was on his game. Like I said, when I saw him talking with the mermaids, like, I'm sorry we didn't get in the pool with you. And he was loving it. That was one of the best versions of Ray I think I've seen in many, many, if not all seasons. Like ear to ear smile. So Ray, I loved it. And like I said, I'm enjoying the new guy that Ashley's dating. That was fun. The guy that Giselle brought, super fun. I hope to see more of that. Loving it. Jacqueline, oh, I don't know about you. And let's see about the new two girls. Is Jazz and is Karine gonna the new girl? Karina, if she's gonna stay. We shall see. So far, so you got a few weeks left to bring it, ladies. If you want to keep your cherry blossom, you're gonna have to bring it. Now, Beverly Hills. I'm ready. Please, Beverly Hills. Are we going to have something happen? Are we just going to continue to go down? I'm really over the Kyle and Mauricio. I know we're right in the thick of it. I get it. Over it. Done with it. How are we going to do? I'm enjoying Garcelle, but I want to see Sutton and I want to see Jennifer Tilly much, much, much more. The Friends boss, I told you I was great. I am so enjoying the Friends up. I love Jennifer Tilly. I think, is this her audition for more? I don't know if we need Jennifer Tilly to have a diamond, but we must have just a little bit more. I love her. She is the best. I love just how she brings a slight little side of eccentricism to them because they need it. Some of these women are just way too stiff. So I love that she brings a little side of spirits of the craziness. I love it so much. And there's going to be, and what else can we bring? Southern Charm is back. I've tried. I've really tried. I don't know. I can't. I don't think I can. I've tried. I always loved watching Whitney's mom, Miss Ashel. I love her. She's fantastic, but I'm really having a hard time watching it anymore. It's played out. The guys on that show just gross me out. First and foremost, they just gross me out. Now, I want to say there's Southern Hospitality. I can't do that one either. We need some new shows. We need new shows on Bravo, and we need just a new mix of reality shows in general. I think that's why game shows are doing so well. Game shows are really coming back in full force. I'm loving the Celebrity Family Feud with Steve Harvey. I am thoroughly enjoying that. I think it's awesome. Steve Harvey does a good job. Steve Harvey's so funny. I have such a soft spot for him. I adore him. But I think that's why they're making such a comeback and everyone's doing a spinoff of a game show now because there's not a lot of scripted series anymore. I think TV's really having a hard time bouncing back from like the strike and COVID. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm just talking off the cuff here. I don't know, but I just think streaming services are do well. I don't know. I don't even watch cable anymore. I don't know many people that do. So what do I know? But bring me some new shows. If there's a new show that we can bring back, game show. Can I please say, because we've also lost some great game show hosts in last. We lost Chuck Woolery just several weeks ago. Alex Trebek, classics. But there are a few classic shows that have been brought back, but there's one that has not been brought back, and I'm going to put my hat in for it. And if you want to host, I'm here for you. This is one of my favorites of all time. This was a great classic of Alex Trebek, by the way. Who doesn't love a great puzzle? Classic Concentration. Does anybody remember the game show Classic Concentration, where you'd have like some phrases and you'd have pictures and you'd have to get together this puzzle, kind of piece it together? Like, so if you would say like, I see something, you'd have like a picture of like an eye and then something else. And then you'd have to kind of piece these pictures and words together to create something. And it was awesome. I love that show. So if there is another game show that they want to revamp, and again, I'm here for you, I put my hat in the ring. That's it. I think 2025, if you're going to be bringing back new shows when you need to, reality shows, dating shows, game shows, that's the one. There's tons of like new game survival shows, like what's that one with Special Forces, which is crazy, and that Bear Grylls one, crazy. I can't watch that stuff. That's almost like a fear factor for me. I can't watch that. But please bring back Classic Concentration. I love it, and it is awesome. So, and plus, we've got Ryan Seacrest. He's doing Wheel of Fortune. So, like I said, they're revamping all the game shows because there's not a lot out there. So, bring some stuff 2025. And as we're getting into the lead up to 2025, we'll have to recap some of the highlights of 2025, talk about some of the hot topics of them, and just go down memory's lane of a year that went by so quickly. So if you have anything that you want us to talk about, discuss, please visit us on the Instagram, Polly Wine Time, and follow us anywhere you get your feed and listen to us. And please, if you like the show, follow, like, and subscribe. And thank you for joining us today on Polly Wine. See you next time. Bye.